All right, welcome to the show, your Royal Highness. It's so
Thank you
nice
very
to have
much.
you here.
Thank you very much.
And just as when I kicked off this segment, I did mention or said gave a brief rundown about you being a co-founder of Track 824. Which is a company that specializes in home security and car tracking services as well. Very interesting to know that you've been doing this for 3 years and different from what you studied at school, right?
Yeah,
History and international studies.
exactly.
But it's okay, it happens. But first, I want you to, talk to us about what you do at Track It 24.
Yeah, basically, Track Hit 24 is a very, very, should I call it a very secured company in the sense that we prioritize ourselves by having pleasure when our clients have every of their valuables
Okay.
being tracked and being secured. So we actually started out by just tracking vehicles
Okay.
alone, which was vehicle security alone. But
Okay.
over time, we evolved and saw the need for the market to enlarge, being that there was also a need for the home security niche to be involved in. So we decided to go into the home security niche. And since then, we've prioritized ourselves in giving our clients the best of all best in securing their properties.
Okay. I know a couple of people might be asking, why do I really need to secure my car? I mean, if I have a car worth a 1 million naira or maybe 700,000, Niger, used cars. Do I need to track it? Is it necessary? And that's why we're having this conversation about how essential home security and car tracking safety is. If you're just tuning in, it's Jordan in Focus, and like I said, how essential is home security and car tracking for your safety? That's what we're discussing this morning with my guest, Prince Maurice Aderimide, who is a co-founder of Track 824. Now back to it. How did you get into the business? What was your biggest motivation? I mean, you studied history and international studies. So what motivated you to come into the world of security?
I'd say my dad.
Okay.
My dad is a security personnel, so over time I've evolved myself in always getting interested in security equipment or techniques. So while in school, I think around the COVID period, I decided to go online, started to look for new knowledge to acquire, and then boom, I landed myself in car tracking, and I
Okay.
got interested in it. And I started to learn about it, reached out to people that knew about it, started acquiring more knowledge about it, and within a month or two, I landed my first clients. And my client
Wow.
was also just my, should I call it an example?
Okay.
I just used that car for an example, and it was
And it
surprisingly
worked.
we did it very, very, very well. And I went home.
Was it a car?
Yeah, a
Oh,
car, yeah.
oh nice.
No, actually, it's an SUV. It was
Oh,
an SUV. So
okay.
we got home and we were looking at ourselves and we're like, we actually did this. We did this. All right, let's take it to the next step. And then we
Amazing.
started reaching out to more clients and we started getting more clients, and they actually saw the need to always protect their valuables.
Very, very interesting. So there was no other formal education attached. You didn't have to go for trainings.
The trainings I all went for are all online, paid online courses.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, all paid online courses. So I was practicing and also learning at the same time.
Now let's start off with the importance of home security. How important is it? I have a home. I lock my house, my gate when I'm leaving. What else is the security that I need to put in place? That might be the question on the mind of someone listening to you right now. So I want you to explain the importance. How do you convince somebody to get their home secured?
Well, first off, let's talk about the money factor here.
Okay.
So we have basically an average Nigerian is spending close to 3 to 5 million naira building a complete bungalow, and then they go as much as furnishing it with about 6 to 7 million naira, and some even go as far as parking cars worth 12 million naira inside that building.
That's right.
So the question is, ask yourself, is it worth the risk just leaving this thing in the hands of, like we always say, God is our protector, but
Yeah.
would you always just like leave your hands open and leave it to thefts to happen? So whenever my clients reach out to me and then some of them come up with the whole idea of maybe it's too expensive to do this, I did this and I did that, I always just ask them a question, which is, if you value it, then you should place a value on it.
All
So
right.
That's how it all started out, because I, for one, see a need that when I get a car worth 12 million naira, in fact, even though it's just 500,000 naira, I mean, it's a value to me as at then.
Okay.
So I just decided to place a value on it. And if you look at the market structure of any security-based company, whenever you're into home security or you're into car security, you always actually just pay a fraction of the amount that you've actually spent on these valuable properties in just tracking and securing it. So I see no reason why anyone at large in Nigeria per se, with the whole insecurity issues, the whole economic crisis coming up, I see no reason why you should have spent millions of nairas on either a car or your home and not be securing it.
All right. So the security that we talk about for the home, I'm focusing on the home first. What does it entail? How do I monitor? What are the things that you put in place?
For home security, we have different devices. We could come up with CCTV installations.
Okay.
That's the closed circuits television.
Yeah.
And then we also have burglary alarm systems. These are burglary alarm systems, devices that whenever motions are detected in your house and you're not there, they could easily send notification to your phone. Or if you're someone that has a big connection to the security authorities in Nigeria, you can as well just set your home up with them, and then it sends a signal to them straight ahead, and then they can report to your location and check what's going on. And we also have more and more devices, because when it comes to home, it's actually larger than cars actually.
Okay.
For homes, you could actually just think that a CCTV device would be okay for you, but then you see the need that when this thing records what's happening, you also need to have effectiveness of what is really going on as at that time.
Yeah.
So you could as well put barrier codes and put motion sensors to detect whenever anyone opens your door, passes through your front gates, or is going through your windows.
Now this thing you said on Monday and yesterday, I had Samson Ajibadi on the show, and he's a security expert, a criminologist as well. And I asked him a question which I'm going to post at you now, because I think you do this more directly. When you go on social media and you find videos of people, maybe stores that have CCTV, for example, we have one here in the studio, and then someone walks into that store, steals something, and then hours later they are posting the video on Instagram and saying, please, we are looking for this face, if you know this person. The first question that comes to my own mind is, I mean, you guys have this CCTV. Is it that there is nobody monitoring, or you guys just leave it there to record and then you come to start crying over spilled milk? Do you enlighten your clients about the need, about how to operate the CCTV, the essentials, how to they need to sit down, watch it, or maybe place somebody there? Do you do all of that? I mean, tutorials for your clients?
Yeah, we prioritize ourselves in after installation. We sit down with our clients and teach them how to use the devices and how to operate the devices. The question you started out with, I would say it's the negligence of the clients in this sense, because when a CCTV installation has been done at your store or your home, it's your own priority to also have somebody monitoring it. Although we do our best by giving you mobile access to it, which can make you view your CCTV devices anywhere all over the world, but you still also have to have someone really operating and watching it, if not 24/7, but at least at the times that your stores are open.
Okay.
And immediately there is a theft detected, I would always suggest my clients reach out to the authorities, give the footage to them, and they start working on it as soon as possible.
All right. Okay. If you're just tuning in, well, it's Jordan in Focus. We are focusing on the security sector again today. And my guest right here is Prince Maurice Aderimide. Am I right?
Yeah, you are.
Yes, and he's a co-founder of Trackit24, which is a company that specializes in home security and car tracking services as well. Let's not forget that this great man has been doing this for 3 years and counting. All right. It also provides security services and gadgets for individuals, corporate organizations, and others. All right. And if you have questions for him, you want to know how essentially